Hey guys, Trevy the Great here again with another Warmachine battle report. This time we're getting into the tournament that I played very recently on the last weekend. It's been a while since I played these games, but I've been super busy, so I'm getting some reports out now. So this event was a 35-point steamroller event with two lists. They were optional. We didn't need to take them, but according to the event organizer, if we had them, we had to use both of them at some point. So, oh well. But unfortunately, there was very poor showing for the event. I guess there were a lot of local events being played on the same day, so we only had 4 players for this one. It was still enough to get a couple games in, and so I'm not really complaining. And there were a couple really good players there, so I got some really good tips on how to play, and tactics and strategies and all that. So. What we had at the event was my friend Brian with his Kador. He was playing Harkovich and Epic Butcher. I think you've seen his army a lot. Usually I play him most of the time in Warmachine, so you've probably seen both of his lists a couple of times. We had a new player. It was only his 5th or 6th game of Warmachine was his first round, and so he was borrowing the Pressganger's army there, which was a Barnabus, what do you call it, Blindwater Congregation list. So that was a pretty standard Gators list. This is a Barnabus, a couple posses, a Gatormen and Wrestler and Spitter and Bogtrogs and everything. And then there was a very, very good circle player there. He was playing Pikaya and Morvana. So pretty widespread armies, 2 hordes, 2 Warmachine, pretty cool, but not too many people there. So that was kind of disappointing, but still it was a fun weekend, so I'm not really complaining. Here's the entirety of my army. I took eStryker and Darius to the tournament. I was gonna take P Nemo just because I've gotten some luck with P Nemo with like chain lightning assassination runs and just putting 5 focus on a jack and going and killing everything with disruption field and 5 focus. Hammersmith can take down the behemoth in a couple of swings, and it gets ridiculous. So unfortunately, I did not take that list because every time I thought about it, and then I played Darius. I just love how Darius plays, and the more I learn about him, the cooler his army becomes. So he might not be as competitive as Nemo or some of the other jackcasters. But I just love him to death. So I'm taking Darius. Come at me, bro. So my see if I can remember my list off the top of my head. My eStryker list was the same thing I've been running for a while with eStryker. It was Runewood, Squire, min unit of Stormblades, unit of Gun Mages with the UA, a Hunter on the Gun Mages, a Junior Warcaster with the Hunter, and Squire, I think I said the Squire, and a Hammersmith Warjack, and I think that's everything. Reinforcements for that list were the Black 13th and Iris. I like bringing the Black 13th on the side because 35 points, it's kind of hard to fit a 4-point unit in there. So bring them off the side, and they can really shred some stuff and possibly take objectives because it's a very small unit. It's easy to get half of them into a control zone. My Darius list was kind of a new thing that I was trying out. I didn't really have a lot of experience with it, and that sort of shows in some of my later battle reports. But it includes, obviously, Darius and his half-jacks, the Squire, the Thunderhead, a Stormclad, a unit of 5, or a min unit of Stormblade Infantry, a Hammersmith, and some other things. Actually, well, a Journeyman Warcaster, and I think that's it, actually. The army was there to deal with very high infantry armies because obviously Darius has his 4-inch AoE from his steam cannon. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit the extra point for Reinhold in there. Reinhold is in my reinforcements, so if we do play a reinforcements game, he runs off the side and runs up to Darius as fast as possible to get some extra shots out of his steam cannon. So Darius can put down his 4-inch AoE. The Stormclad has Electroleap on his gun and his sword. The Thunderhead has Energy Pulse, and the Hammersmith can smash things. So pretty much can deal with with heavy infantry armies, but unfortunately I wasn't very good at running it today, so I didn't really get a lot of use out of it. Reinforcements for that army was, like I said, Reinhold. It also had a Charger and I think it had a Gun Mage Captain to take out some solos. So let's get into my first game and see how I do. So here's my first game. I was paired up with the newer player, the Barnabus player. He, like I said, was running a pretty standard Gatormen list. He had a Black-Eyed Wrestler, Barnabas, obviously, an Ironback Spitter, 2 Gatormen posses, a unit of Swamp Gobber, the Bellows team, and I think, mid-unit of Bog Trogs. And then his reinforcements, we were playing, I don't remember the name of the scenario. I'm bad at Steamroller, so we were playing the scenario with the 2 big 8-inch, or 12-inch, I think, 12-inch circles in the center there. So those are denoted by the two little marks in the center, and we'll just measure 6 inches off of those. I think they were 8 or 12-inch. I don't remember. I remember I had 8-inch templates, but the organizers didn't use them because I think they were 12 inches. I don't remember off the top of my head. We also used reinforcements. My opponent's reinforcements were 2 Croak Hunters and a Bull Snapper. So pretty odd reinforcements. The Croak Hunters are pretty good. They advanced to play anyway, though, so I guess it's okay. And then the Bull Snapper was a little odd because obviously it doesn't do a lot off the side. Even being able to force turn 1, if he kills a guy, he automatically ends his activation. So I was a little confused by that. It was nice to have a Bull Snapper in the list, though, because Spiny Growth is a pretty good animus. Anyway, this is the board. As you can see, this is actually the end of my turn 1. I run the roll to go first. I decided to go first. So at the end of my turn 1, I moved everything up. Essentially, ran the Hunter up onto the hill there to basically try to get some shots as soon as possible before Barnabas starts putting down those AOE's. I think he tried to shoot at the Spitter or the Wrestler or something, and it was like just out of range, something like that. And then I think I forgot to activate the other Hunter, which was pretty bad, but Death Clock was doing it for me. So anyway, that's the end of turn 1. We'll see how it goes on my opponent's turn. Okay, bottom of round 1. Things have happened. So this is actually, come to think of it, this is the bottom of round 2. So I missed a photo after my opponent's turn, but no, this is top of round 2. This is after my round 2. So here's what happened. I moved up. Yeah, I moved up with everything. I got my reinforcements in, so Iris is over there in the trees over on the right-hand side. The Black 13th are behind the trees. I put down a fire beacon on those Gatormen over there. The 5-inch AoE there is actually the Swamp Gobber Cloud, so I put down the fire beacon so I could ignore that with some of my shooting. Unfortunately, didn't do much. I wasn't really able to hurt the Gatormen with the gun mages because gun mages don't do very well against heavy armor that they have. I did a couple points there. Ryan put her Mage Storm down, rolled pretty badly for damage, and I only did, I think, 1 or 2 points to the Gatormen under it. So that was pretty disappointing, but whatever. I'll be able to deal with them later. They're pretty slow. Obviously, Barnabas put down some of his swamp templates. There were a lot of templates going around in this game. Almost none of them were actually damaging, which was pretty interesting. We had, I think, at one point, 5-inch AoEs on the table. So it got ridiculous. Yeah, 3 from, I don't know. Yeah, it was like 5. It was insane. So I moved up my Stormblades up on the left-hand side to contest that objective there, and then moved up everything else up the middle. Hid Stryker and his little posse behind the hill, and then basically as I ended my turn, I realized I'd forgotten my opponent's got Bog Trogs, so pretty much kissed the Black 13th goodbye because they had their rear arcs to the table edge, and the Bog Trogs were going to come in and charge them. So I was probably just within, just outside of the 3-inch no charging thing. So it was going to be pretty bad for the Black 13th. Okay, so obviously here come the Bog Trogs. They're going to come kill the gun mages over here. So that was pretty silly on my part. Just forget about that. I probably should, with the amount of damage I did and was able to do with the Black 13th, I probably should have just run them, and I think I might have been able to get out of the Bog Trogs charge range. I don't remember what their move is, but I think if I had just run them into the center of the board, that would have been a lot better. And they could do a lot. They could affect a lot more things from the center, but I was just so excited to shoot some Mage Storms and stuff that totally forgot about them. So they're all gonna die. So Bog Trogs charged in, killed Black 13th. That was pretty easy. My opponent brought in his reinforcements on the other side. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a picture. The Bull Snapper, I think, charged in and I think killed a guy, killed a Stormblade. The Croak Hunters threw it at the Stormblades and killed another one, and then the Gatorman posse charged and killed 2 more. So I had 2 Stormblades left on the left-hand side there. On the right-hand side, pretty much the Gatorman moved up, Barnabas moved up, the Ironback Spitter moved up, Black-Eyed Wrestler moved up, all into Swamp Templates, so I couldn't shoot at them. And that was pretty much my opponent's turn. Okay, last photo of the game. This was turn 3, I believe, for me. Yeah, so it's kind of blurry photo. Sorry about that, but as you can see, Stryker is next to Barnabas, and that is how most games end. I did tell my opponent at the beginning of the game because obviously he's new at the game, so I went through all of my units, told him what he could do, told him what they could do, and basically was like, hey, Stryker has a 17-inch threat range. Don't get near Stryker with Barnabas, and he's like, yeah, whatever. So he got within 14 inches of Stryker with Barnabas. I just, to be safe, positive charge, velocity 3 times, charged Barnabas, swung at him, did a bunch of damage, swung at him, did a bunch of damage. He'd forgotten that transfers required a Fury, so we actually let him take some spells off. He'd cast some Animi from the Ironback Spitter and, to, basically just to use up Fury, and then realized that he needed Fury to transfer, so we let him take the Animus off of the Spitter. I decided to be ballsy with Stryker and 3d6 overcharged, rolled ridiculous for the damage. I was up at like POW 23 or something, 25, and only took 7 or 8 points of damage, so that was pretty good. Swung at Barnabas and killed him on my last or second to last focus, I think. It didn't really matter because I still had my feet, so I could have just activated everything else. I could have feated and then activated him again and swung at him and boost damage because I think Barnabas only had like 2 points left. Killed the Black-Eyed Wrestler in the process from transfers, and so yeah, that was the end of the game. Good game to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle report. It wasn't very long. I did tell him to watch out for Stryker, and he didn't do that. So that's game 1 in the bag. We'll see how I go game 2.